I have to take myself off mute. Welcome. I'm Mary Winters. I'm a gerontologist and the owner of About Senior Solutions. You are watching Visionary Aging. We do the show every Friday morning at 8 o'clock because I want to give you more knowledge and power to own your vision of aging. There's so much that we can do to stay in control and make sure that we're planning and taking advantage of whatever we need to live our best life ever. So we have some fantastic guests on today. We have our segment host, and we have a great caregiver question. But first, we have a little twinkle that we'll put in your wrinkle. We have this time around, we have a centenarian from Bermuda, and we also have a centenarian from, I think it's Georgia. So we'll celebrate them this morning. But we also have Melinda Hughes on. She will be talking about sports injuries or injuries in general to our bodies and how we heal best so that we don't re-injure ourselves and that we continue to age successfully. We have Steve McCullough with a caregiver question, and I think it's something to do with documents or what to kind of keep in an emergency, those types of things. So we'll see what he has to say. And then our amazing guest is Cynthia Cohn of Cynthia Cohn Real Estate. She is a real estate broker, one of the very few female brokers. So I'm very pleased to have her on board with us today. And she's also a cyclist, so maybe we'll talk a little bit about her cycling. But let's go ahead and we'll jump right into our birthday celebration. I love that little ending. Let me go ahead and share this little picture with our national lady and a little bit about her birthday. I think she just should be featured just by herself. We'll show her picture just with her by herself. She's on a playground in the local area. And this is from the Tifton Gazette. And her name is, I love her name. Her name is Pearlie Mae Gaither. And she turned 100 this month, actually on the 16th. She is a resident of Rehabilitation Center of South Georgia. And she has, this is all they said about her, she has several grandchildren, children, great-grandchildren, great-great-grands, all celebrating with her this month. So I'm going to assume that's her family behind her. She is so cute. She has her little badge there, and I think it says, looking good for 100. She looks amazing for 100. So happy, happy birthday, Pearlie Mae, and have many more ahead of you. We also have a really lovely woman who is 100, but she's from Bermuda. So let me go ahead and pull up her pictures, and we'll celebrate her for a little bit. I'm going to hide myself so we can celebrate her. Okay, let's see. Steve, I gotta find you here. I will find you. I will also unmute you. It's become our big joke, I think. Since
Good morning.
Since we had an entire show with me muted, it's kind of a big joke now, right?
It was like our best show ever, too.
It was. Well, at least he had lots of great things to say. I was just asking simple little questions, but his information was fantastic.
Yes.
So tell me, do we have a caregiver question? I think we do.
We do. I think it's a great question, actually, too.
Okay.
So, in an emergency, what are the important documents, important paperwork you need to have, and where should those be stored?
That is a really good question. And I guess it depends on what kind of emergency we're talking about. I wonder if our guest Cynthia would even have some comments on emergency paperwork regarding your home. But just thinking about you personally, somebody should know where to access a advanced healthcare directive. Hopefully you have that together. They should be able to have your power of attorney if needed. And for an emergency, your people, your decision makers should know little things like who your gardener is and when he comes and what bills need to be paid and what are your passwords for your computer with different organizations and so forth. So it takes a little time to organize. It's something that I actually do annually, usually, towards the later part of January, I go through and kind of correct things. But when I, change them, update them. But when I initially put that together, I kind of took one topic a month for during the whole year and just made sure that I had my trust documents in place. Then I had my investment items in place. And then people need to know where they are. We actually have a portal and we're making that available to the public very soon. So I'll keep you posted on that. But yeah, you want to make sure that your decision makers have that accessible, whether they know the attorney to contact or that it's in your drawer or that they actually have a copy. That's sometimes even better. And then they can present that paperwork in an emergency at the hospital. Usually right as an emergency in the hospital just wants to get you in, get you figured out, make sure that they get you out of the crisis. But once things calm down, they need that paperwork.
Right.
So
flash drives are always good too.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So yeah, and we have Melinda on. She's going to talk about sports injuries. Have you had any injuries lately, or?
Not lately, fortunately. That's me knocking on wood. No, but I have a staple in my knee from a high school football injury. So that's always fun to deal with. Every now and then it'll flare up, but I've been pretty fortunate.
Nice.
How about you?
I'm trying to get myself in shape. Fortunately, I have not injured myself terribly over the years. I've had weird things happen, especially as a kid, but I am thankful that my body is pretty healthy. So,
yeah.
but there are a lot of people, those weekend warriors and so forth. So let's bring Melinda on. In fact, you know what? We have a little intro for her too, and I think she deserves to have her little special intro played. So let me go ahead and see if I can find that. Okay, talk to you soon.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, we have.
Yay!
Yeah, I can hear you, but we can't see you yet. There you are.
Hey!
How are you this morning?
Hey, everybody. Good morning.
Great. Yeah, you too. So
yeah.
You could probably hear Steve and I mean, I feel really lucky. I'm, I've definitely had little things happen, but people get injured all the time. So
yeah. It was great that Steve pointed out that he still has to, take into account his injury from football when he was probably a teenager.
Yeah.
Because it's a really good point to make that even though our bodies are miraculous in healing from injuries and, flus and colds and illness and disease, it sometimes injuries, especially significant ones, don't heal completely, and then we contend with them for the rest of our lives, and it's always something that we have to really watch for. So I think the first the first aspect of dealing with injuries is prevention.
Sure.
So, the real way to prevent injuries is strength, is to be strong. Muscles not only move our body in space, so we all know that when we contract the muscle, that's how we move our body. The next big function of muscle is to protect the body. So the muscle stabilizes your body. It protects your joints, stabilizes your joints, and it also protects the skeleton, your bones, and your internal organs from injury if something's to impact your body. So muscle is very important as far as preventing injuries to the body in general. The more muscle we have, the more protected our body is, the more strong and stable. It increases the integrity of our joints. So building lots of strong, healthy muscle is the first step.
I agree with you completely. And I feel
Yeah.
like I'm back. I was losing muscle. We naturally lose muscle every year.
Yeah.
And just trying to stay balanced with that, so you're not too far behind the game.
Yep.
Especially during COVID. And I thought, my gosh, I've got to get my strength back. And I feel like I'm, getting there, thankfully. Thanks to you.
Yeah. I think too, we feel that. We feel like when we lose strength, we feel a little bit more unstable in our bodies. So,
Yeah, for sure. But tell me, so should people kind of push through an injury, or should they be really babying that injury? What's the best?
Good question. A lot of our clients will kind of talk about that no pain, no gain phrase or motto people have. And that's really especially when we apply that to exercise and activity, that's really talking about the muscles burning, that muscle burning sensation, and not sharp pain, stabbing pain, joint pain, nerve pain. Those types of pain you never want to push through or push past. We want to, those types of pain are the pain from injury or something that's not quite healed. That pain is telling you to stop. The muscles burning is the pain that you want to continue to push through when you're exercising. That's the good type of pain. That's the I'm building muscle pain. But I think it's important when people exercise or participate in activities and they sustain an injury, really let your body heal. If you go back into whatever activity that was and you're feeling that pain, whether it's sharp, shooting, stabbing, joint pain, nerve pain, that's your indication that you're not quite healed yet and you're not ready to resume that activity. And just take it, slow and steady wins the race. So taking a time out and letting that injury heal will actually do more for your health. It'll do more for whatever your weight loss goals are, or whatever those goals are that are really driving you to get back into your activity. It's going to pay off more for you to sit and rest and let that injury properly heal.
Yeah, so being the turtle, I always got called the turtle. My mom was speedy and fast, and I like the mellow. Oh, you're the turtle.
Yeah.
So being the turtle and not allowing yourself to get too upset, I think is a good thing to let yourself heal then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good. Yeah. All right. So I want to eventually talk more about like the right shoes to wear.
Yes.
Weight bearing versus non-weight bearing exercise. You have so many great topics, and I want people to reach out to info@AboutSeniorSolutions so that we can collect your questions. And
that would be great. I would love to. I would love for viewers to ask questions, whether they email you in advance, and then I can answer them live. So that would be fun.
Absolutely. We are here to answer your questions for sure. Yeah. And she's an expert, guys and gals. We want to make sure that we get these questions out to somebody who can really properly answer them for you. So thank you. Have a great weekend. And we have Cynthia Cohn on with us. She's coming on next. And she is actually an amazing cyclist. I can't imagine cycling hundreds of miles like she has. It's incredible.
That's really impressive. That's cool. That's cool.
It is impressive. So I'm going to go ahead and wish you a happy weekend, and I will see you next week.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks. And we're going to talk about Cynthia now. Cynthia Cohn. Cynthia Cohn is still here. I have her somewhere. She's going to pop up. Hold on. We've got her picture. I want to present her in the best light possible. She is a very proud leader of her own brokerage firm. And as we mentioned before, she's one of the very few women-owned residential real estate brokerages in the state of California. As Cynthia's real estate career has grown over the past 20 years, so has her passion for protecting, caring for, and creating maximum results for her clients. This brokerage was built on Cynthia's dream of entrepreneurship that she has had since she was a young girl. Interesting, sometimes we interview people who know what they want to do since childhood, and this is great. As a tribute to her own family, Cynthia created the logo from her mother's handwriting in a letter she once wrote to Cynthia. And it's a beautiful, it's actually her signature and everything. And I think it's so lovely that she has her mom's signature to honor everything that she puts together. It stands as a constant reminder of home and what really matters, a sanctuary where we feel protected, supported, and appreciated. This is exactly what Cynthia wants each client to feel when working with her. She resides in Northeast Pasadena, where she raised her 3 now grown children. To recharge, Cynthia loves cycling, as we mentioned, in the San Gabriel Mountains, and being an active member in her community. Let's go ahead and we will welcome Cynthia. And I'm going to find her really quick here in our little green room. And here we go. She's coming. It's coming. Let's see. Is she coming? No, she's not coming. We gotta click another button again. Let's see. Here we go. She's coming. She's really coming this time. Hey, welcome, Cynthia. How are you?
Good morning.
And I guess I did my job properly. I can hear you too.
Oh my gosh, that introduction was amazing, Mary. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're very welcome. I do really love that signature that you have with your mom's handwriting. It's just amazing, so lovely, and actually so touching. When you shared that with me, it was just that awe moment where I thought, that's so tender and dear, and you could tell how important family is to you.
I love it. My mother was a beautiful mom. She, and I look back on my, lucky. I was lucky. I was loved growing up. My parents stayed together. And she made a beautiful home with lots of memories. And as I'm going through helping, families let go sometimes of a home that they've loved, I really can easily dig right down and remember exactly how that feels, because I loved my home too. And the signature, I think as women, especially, and as a business owner, you're able to create a business that basically takes your own values and puts them out in the world. And that's the beauty of it. So I'm just staying, keeping it pretty authentic these days, not trying to ever be anybody else but myself.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that really means something to your clients. I know you send things out when you do create a listing. And I have to say, you have such attention to detail and the photography and the presentation. It's kind of like going to a beautiful restaurant and you have this beautiful plate of food on your table, on your plate, but you position your client's asset so beautifully, and I think that's so important.
I do too. I mean, obviously that's why I'm doing it. And I have about 20 years of experience in the business. And over the years, I recognized, just for me personally, I cannot put my head on my pillow at night unless I know I'm doing absolutely everything possible to preserve someone's largest asset. And often their home is their largest asset.
Sure.
So it doesn't mean we have to do everything, but we have, I do want to do everything within the confines of what the family can handle, what the owner of the home can handle. And that's why you see what you do, because we're taking it and doing absolutely everything that we can to maximize the largest asset for this family.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. And you have something that's really unique as well, in regards to, you spell everything out so clearly. I think clarity is something that's really important. You are presenting what you're going to do, when you're going to do it, and how you're going to do it to your clients. And I also thought something was very interesting is your proven success steps. Can you talk a little bit about that process? and what those 7 steps are.
Well, I could say over the years that I've been working in the business, I have been able to create my own systems, what I feel I need to do when I'm representing a buyer or a seller. And I took those action steps, let's say, and I wrote them down. And eventually I realized that what makes me unique is my unique process. That's why you hire me, because I have a unique process that you see these end results. So I actually have, it's my proven process. I have it right here. So if anyone would like a copy, and it's just what my team and I, the steps that we follow to ensure that our clients are protected throughout the entire process. And not only that, that they also feel like they're cared for, because these are very emotional transactions. Often, most people that I'm working with, selling or buying a house is the most top 5 stressful events in life.
Oh,
and when
absolutely.
you're downsizing, yeah.
Well, and then
So,
let's talk about your seniors too, that you might be, and we'll get back to your 7 steps. We'll keep everybody in anticipation, but sometimes it's the death of a spouse or just someone not having the function to be able to get and access their upstairs area of their home. So there's additional trauma oftentimes with our seniors that have to move. So share a little bit about that process that you may take to walk somebody through that. Really, it's a challenging process.
Really letting go of something that you have absolutely loved and created so many memories for your family is not easy.
Yeah.
And so this process can go very quickly if access to money is important, or it can be something that is over a couple years, a period of time. Quite often, individuals that are thinking about downsizing have to figure out what that looks like. And that's not something you can figure out overnight. It takes a lot of time to figure out the right next step for you. So quite often, the first thing that I'll do is just really sit with the individual or the family and really talk about really what are your goals, long-term goals in this with moving. And then I have a better understanding of exactly what they're trying to accomplish and to figure out how I can best support them in whatever timeline is that they're looking at. So it's never any rush, and it sometimes can be very casual, just coming over and talking and sitting down so that you can really gather the facts and figuring out what does that look like. And that proven process that I just showed you, we kind of talk about that. Hey, there actually, with every sale of a home, there is a process. And here it is. You can go through it.
Let's go through it. And if you want to jot those answers down, I can see that Elise Lefebvre is watching. Thank you so much, Elise. Let's go through those processes or those steps.
Well, I have 7. Yeah, 7, and I have it. Like I said, I have it right here. So 7 steps. So the first thing is really just we will talk about what's going on in your life, and we'll get together, and it'll just be a conversation. And I will gain an understanding of what you would like to eventually accomplish, what your concerns are about that, where you need support, where everything, where you would like to go. So we really just sit down and gather information. And then that can be done. We might initially just do it through a phone call initially, and then we'll set a time for me to come to your home and to sit down, and you will show me and tour me your home, and we will sit down again and review what you'd like to accomplish. And then once you've moved towards the process of needing resources, for instance, you might be thinking about, what am I going to do with all the stuff that I've accumulated over time? I will help you figure that out. And sometimes you'll work with your own family to do that. You can work with me. I have many fantastic resources, because you might not, if you're scaling down, you might not be interested in taking everything that you've accumulated over time. So I will help you with those things and figure out exactly what to do. Even if you don't know where you're going to go as well, I have some amazing resources that can help, that I can introduce you to, and connections. So really kind of that pre-planning step is so important. And that can be something that takes several years to do. And that is really, honestly, that's, I hope people do take time to figure it all out. So I'm there however long it takes. once we decide to move forward, there is a lot of paperwork in the process. And so we really do sit down together and go through all the paperwork. And if you've been in your home for quite some time, you have obligations as an owner of a property to disclose things, known material defects about your house. So we really sit down and we go through all the paperwork together to make sure that you are protected in the process. There's a lot of things that can go wrong when you sell your house. And so my job is to ensure that you're protected and that we look out for any red flags in the beginning and ensure that all that is taken care of in advance. Once we do that, we'll come in and I will help you completely prepare your property. So if you've determined a place that you'd like to move to, then I will help you coordinate the move. I will help you get the house ready. I will absolutely, and I can do actually all of it for you. I do work with a lot of families that are successor trustees that live out of the area, and I can pick it up and just take care of everything, get it all prepared and ensure that, yeah. And then once we do that, then we bring it on the market and we handle all the marketing, and then we have to negotiate buyer offers that come in and ensure that we actually successfully get that buyer to the end result, which is closing escrow and transferring that net proceeds to your bank account. So, yes.
And I think the process too, with the way you present the house, I mean, it's obviously about getting the maximum value for your property too. So I know you're discussing that. It's a great market right now. It's a crazy market, I think, but it's not always going to be like that. And if you, I think I want somebody who's going to be really good, who's going to present.
I know. It is right now is an excellent market we've had in Pasadena. For instance, we have under a month's worth of supply of inventory. So that means our demand is a lot higher than the supply there. And so it just means we have as many buyers for your home possible. But I do want to say with that proven process, when you are talking to realtors, it is really good for you as a seller to talk to 2 or 3 different realtors and to ask them, what is your process? Another great question to ask, Mary, is really, do you have written systems in place? Because that is how we protect our clients that we work with. There are it's a very detail oriented business, and there's many aspects to a sale. And you want to make sure that you're working with someone that actually has a written system and make sure that nothing's missing along the way.
Oh, sure. You need a true professional. You don't want just some hack selling your house. That you need to many people, especially our seniors, they need as much as they can get so that they can use that for their assisted living or for senior housing on some level, or just downsizing and making it work for them. So it's very important to get the most out of their sale of their property. I have Cynthia's contact information below, scrolling. But Cynthia, why don't you just announce how people get a hold of you if they're just listening and they can't see the scroll?
Sure. Well, the easiest way is for you just to visit my website, which is www.cynthiacohn.com. You can also give us a call. We answer our phones every single day of the week between 9 and 5, so you can give us a ring, and that's 626-714-6808. And you can always email me at cynthia@cynthiacohn.com.
That's great. Thank you so much for doing what you do and for taking care of our seniors in these very challenging processes. I really appreciate it. And any other little words of advice, whether it be real estate or cycling or being a daughter or a mom?
Well, let's see. I would just say, these connections that we have with one another are so important. And, being able to know the people to turn to that can support you through these difficult times is important. And I really just wanted to thank you, Mary, and let you know how much I appreciate you having a friend. And not only that, but being able to align with you and support people the way they deserve to be. So thank you so much for having me as a guest today.
You're welcome. Yeah, it's all about helping as many people as you can. That's great stuff. So thank you and have a great weekend.
You too. Talk to you soon. Thanks.
Okay. Absolutely. What a great guest. What a great resource. I mean, I'm always blown away by the way she presents things and how much detail she has. And of course, it's a great market, but I mean, you always want to have great representation when you have your biggest asset out on the chopping block. So I'm going to bring Steve back and see what he is doing for the weekend. I think Melinda may have already left us.
Hello.
Hello.
What a great guest.
Isn't yeah, absolutely.
Like I'm listening to her and I feel like, you know, she's in my living room and we're just having this like nice like chat with a friend, and she's such a great communicator.
Oh yeah, oh no, and that's important, right? Because
Absolutely.
if you're going to communicate what you need for, I mean, the angst that you go through, and she's listening to that. Not everybody does that. Not everybody has that attention to detail.
No.
So, and I think in particular for me, it's something that I need to be protective of my senior and make sure that they are really, truly getting the support and the value and everything. And her experience and knowledge goes a very long way. So appreciate it. So how about you? How about your weekend? Anything special, exciting, fun?
I'm trying to see the grandson, so hopefully that's gonna work out. Yeah, trying to figure out timing for that and just trying to stay cool. It's gonna be hot.
How hot is it gonna be?
I think it's like high 90s today. I don't know what the rest of the weekend is. It's so muggy out though.
Yeah, it really is. I was talking to friends in Arizona this morning, and they said it's monsoon weather, 73 in Arizona, or at least in the Scottsdale area, with lots of rain coming down. They said it's just gorgeous. So
Yeah.
oh,
What are you doing this weekend? You have a concert on Sunday, right?
Yes, Steve is in a band, and he will be playing over at Pasadena Pub.
Old Town Pub?
Old Town Pub. Yeah, there you go. You know, I don't. So yes, join us there. We'll be there on, what day is it? Saturday? Tomorrow, right? Is that what day it is?
I thought it was Sunday.
Okay, it's Sunday. I've got it posted, so you can come out and see if you want to join us. It's so fun. It's just a fun time to get together.
It's a hard venue to find, but once you find it, it's a nice little place.
Yeah, it is kind of tucked away, huh?
It is, yeah. So that's good. Awesome.
All right, my friend, we are off, and
great show.
Thank you so much. Remember, if you need anything from us at About Senior Solutions, just give us a holler. Take the quiz. It's so much fun. About Senior Solutions.
Submit your question.
Yep, submit your questions to Steve. We'll see you next week.
All right.